At one point, I did point a firearm at the police, so they responded the way they were trained to respond.
Which involved 14 rounds fired back at George Nickel.
It wasn't my first time being shot at.
George is a veteran who spent time serving in Iraq. He returned from active duty in 1997 with physical scars, but mental ones as well. Those were the traumas George says he didn't want to address.
I was masking everything with alcohol.
Paired with depression, PTSD, anxiety, lack of sleep, all contributing factors when George found himself in the middle of a standoff.
At that point where I was at in 2009, I didn't care about life or death.
Fortunately, Boise police officers did, attempting every de-escalation tactic to bring George back to a more coherent state.
One of the reasons I pointed a firearm at them is because I had no clue who they were.
And the police lights flashing in the parking lot of his apartment complex didn't help his situation.
Even after the shots were fired, there was actually one officer who kind of like his voice was above everyone else's, and it was that connection is what brought everything back down.
Everyone leaving the scene uninjured. Following that, George spent 8 months in jail. Then a judge ruled probation and therapy instead of 15 years in prison. And despite the traumas of that standoff in July of '09,
I was approached by then Boise Police Chief Mike Masterson, and he actually approached me because he wanted to make a training video for law enforcement.
as a way for officers to look at the way they responded to the situation then and adjust their response when they approach people in the midst of a mental health crisis going forward.